you're tuning in after the live. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Please take a moment to hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics. It's the number one thing you can do to help this community grow. And if you haven't done so already, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that like button or subscribe button and subscribe to the channel so that you can see future content, as that would be an incredible thing for you to do. But I want to get into, I'll do the intro, and then if anybody's watching this now, or if you end up watching this after, you'll at least be able to see this when it gets uploaded. Go Girl, welcome in from Portland. So good mid-afternoon, 12:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, September 15th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. O Johnson, welcome in. XRP Stu, thank you for joining in on this midday market report. It's a little more than just a midday market report today, because I wanted to make sure I waited until I did this live, because I'll do my normal one at 7:47, but I wanted to make sure to cover something that's quite interesting, a rumor of sorts. XRP Stu, welcome in. Who else did I miss? I missed somebody, I apologize. Rockin' XRP Painter, good afternoon. Douglas, welcome in. Steven, everything is fantastic. I just finished out my 10th day back at the gym, so I'm 2 weeks in out of my 4 weeks that I got to do to catch up for being out for 2 months. Good day to you as well, Black Viper. Ami, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning back in. So as you know, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about in the market. Good afternoon to you as well. Mitchell, good day. I'm glad you're tuning in. Wow, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into this midday market report. I'm going to try to do it around 12:30 to 1 o'clock each day during the week, Monday through Friday. So we'll get into this. Mr. Mac, welcome in. Appreciate you tuning in once again. 2 years plus member of Tom's Army. That's the 2-year badge, the 589, which I made 58.9 cents on the moon. So the big stuff we're going to talk about here in a minute. This is the rumor right now. BlackRock rumored to shift crypto focus from Bitcoin to XRP. If any of this, if any part of that is true, it's the biggest catalyst you could ever expect for XRP, and it would make sense in the future. This is the kind of liquidity we need. If BlackRock truly is the shift focus from Bitcoin to XRP, and the fact the rumors are even out there and it's getting mainstream coverage, is good. This is good. This breeds some to come in. This might just be put out here because we needed a little more topside liquidity. And what happened? We had a nice little run up to 51 cents. This could help us get a little more liquidity. And what might happen? We could get some people that come in and say, holy crap. Like I'm saying, if there's anything true about that rumor, we'll get into that more here in very shortly here. But make sure if you're watching to hit that like button, as it will greatly help push this content. I believe we deserve more people in here. And if you want to show a donation as appreciation, you can join Tom's Army. Send a YouTube super chat, but really the biggest donation you can send is hitting that like button and sharing this content. Believe it or not, that too is a donation. So let's do the midday market report very quick. We're going to start from the top here. And then we're going to get into the news of BlackRock, because this is something I'm passionate about, doing these midday market reports, and whoever joins, joins. I'm not going to go in and looking at all the views or viewers and stuff like that. Yeah, go girl. It is holy crazy. I am not iffing you, Evan. That is the story today. That is the story today. I missed one person. Straight Six, welcome in. I knew I missed somebody. True, good morning, my brother and sisters. Hit that like, y'all. Exactly. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior today as well on this beautiful day, as we're getting information flowing on this Friday. Dow Jones, minus 175 on the day. I mean, they're going to continue to artificially push this market. So I don't really like to look at the charts on the Dow, because it doesn't interest me that much, because the government is a big player in here and moving it up. And we basically all know what's happening here at the market. As long as the US dollar is going up, the government's going to buy bonds. They're going to buy the yield, or they're going to buy basically they're buying up the bonds, and they're buying up the stock market. Whenever you see the US dollar being propped up, they're artificially inflating things, which means they're going to prop up the stock market to make it all look good and make everybody spend that overinflated dollar. There's no coincidence we have this big W reversal that happened here. And is that a fake out or not? Who knows? Because the way they're pushing this market, this looks like it could go into infinity. But does that really mean anything in the Dow? And what I mean by that is if the US dollar's overinflated and then it gets cut, it jumps off a cliff, and let's say it's sitting at 90, 85, if the Dow's up to 55,000, does it really matter? No. You've cut off so much purchasing power, of course it's going to go up. That's one of the biggest tricks in the book. Put your money into this market with no meaningful assets, and I'll repeat that. In the stock market, the only meaningful asset there is no asset. And some people argue with me, commodities are great, but I only buy commodities like B2 Gold on top of my precious metals holding. And you can buy some in the stock market. The only ones that are relevant that you should even be looking at are high dividend paying stocks. Ones that have a PE ratio under 3. Oh, you heard me, under 3. Unless they pay a dividend and you know they have some substance, you can go up to like 8 or 9. But like even Apple's at 26-1 rough, that's not even good. Absolutely, the inflated money is needed to pay the bills. I could not agree with that more. And what happens when it gets cut off? What happens when we lose the 105? Remember, we talked about this. This is not a surprise to this community. That's why I'm not nervous about what's happening. I don't know what is going on with that, but it certainly did not pull up the chart I wanted. But that's why we're not nervous in here. Like, there's no reason to be. We know the levels. And yeah, it's a little harder to read on this. But the bottom line is, if we're just looking at the formation, here, let me make this easier. We'll get this out of here. Out, out, out. And for relativity, out. Just to make it easier, out, out. Terry, this is for you too if you're viewing. Out, out. So now, we're looking for this. So with the DXY, what's happening here? We're in a rising channel. If we bust up through the rising channel, we're coming up here to the downtrending resistance. That should put a cap to any upside at around 109, in my opinion. Now, if they really want to go ballistic and we break that 109.20, I mean, then you come back to that. You had a pivot high where you could come back to 114.78, and then the target on a breakout first move is 120. I mean, how high are they really going to push this? But we talked about this long ago. They're going to push the US dollar until there's no pushing left. And could it be an all-out breakout? Please hit that like button. Only 33 likes. That would greatly help push this midday market report. And then we're going to get into the XRP big news as well. But with the US dollar, is there any doubt they're going to try to push this going into the year end when the bricks start pushing? So it looks like they're going to push this up to like 109. That's what it looks like. The rising channel, yes. We have to put solace in the rising channel, obviously. And our next move, our technical target off this first bust up here is 106.30. So we're nowhere near. Nice bull flag set up here in the daily. So if we break out past 106.21, or we just do this all the way up. You can ride this rising channel all the way up. Nobody says you can't. But I'm saying you could have a spike out to where you break up. So, Jorge, welcome in. Eddie, good afternoon. Push it real good. Yes, indeed, rockin' XRP Panther. Paul, welcome in. Good afternoon. So that's what we're looking at for the US dollar. So now when we come down, we got the Dow, we covered the dollar. Now we got crude oil. Well, it's up to $90.69 a barrel. Do we think that's a good thing? No. It's just going to continue to go up. Every time you see crude oil go up, we've had a massive reversal here that's not even close to finishing. Ready? What are we doing here? Now, I'm not putting a chart on here because this is going to go parabolic and I don't want to get into the finer details yet. But what we're doing here is we're rounding the bottom. What that means is we're going to come up here at some point and finish that cup and handle, and ultimately the top handle. And then do we come up to the swing high? Probably at some point. But this is a massive rounding the bottom, cup and handle, forming first layer, second layer. Don't shoot the messenger. This is just what's happening. So how are you going to prepare for this? And this is happening while the US dollar is going up. Imagine how much faster it's going to happen when the US dollar tanks and the bricks start taking over. Tanya, welcome in, love. You did not miss anything, honestly. You only missed me going through the Dow, the DXY, and crude oil just now. I just wanted to do my midday market report. Then we're getting into the news, as you know, because you put it in the Telegram earlier, the BlackRock rumor. We'll see, because if there's any truth to that, that's the biggest catalyst and game changer we could ask for. Obviously, we don't know anything more than we're seeing. The U.S. government bonds is doing the same thing. This is on a bona fide breakout, ladies and gentlemen. We only covered this for the channel for a brief time, but then I kind of went away from it for a little bit because I wasn't doing the midday market reports. It wasn't important. I used to do it when I was doing the gold stuff. So as you can see, this is a full-blown breakout now. I mean, we're literally trying to break out. It's round at the bottom. We've had this cup and handle. And now what's the most bullish thing we can do? If the 10-year breaks up, it's over. It's over. It is over. You guys, does anybody even understand the significance of the 10-year breaking out? The fact that's where it's at, that's your 10-year. So if you have a 10-year loan, if it was at, I mean, it's way higher now. They're charging more than that, but just think about it. Your 10 years, so basically if you're getting a 10-year government bond and you're telling them they can hold on to your money, if you're getting 4 point whatever the percentage is, what's the rate of inflation? Probably in real terms 3 times what you're getting on government bonds. So yeah, sure, it looks great because the dollar's overinflated. What happens when you're getting 5% on a US dollar that's at 90, but inflation's well north of 18 to 20% in real terms? Not the new CPI we do, not the new basket of goods. I'm talking real world stuff. This new horse shit they do now, it doesn't even measure. It doesn't measure. It's a way for the government to make what they're saying look right. It's one of these things. Would you want your kids to be going to school and grading their own papers? If you're buying something from a car salesman, do you want him to make all of the decisions on how much the payment, like, do you want to have some say? Like if they're making up all the conditions so let's go back to school. Do you want your kids to be making their own grade? That's what the government's doing right now. They're giving you a CPI report and they're marking it to their liking. Hello, they're the ones who are raising the debt ceiling. They're the ones who are printing money. Why should they be the ones telling us what inflation is? You should have that on an outsource, nothing to do with them. You can't have them telling you what the outlook is and what the actual numbers are. They're the ones causing it. And inflation is not the increase in price. I mean, the increase in goods prices. All it is the expansion of the money supply. Deflation is from the expansion, and then you're basically closing it in, you're reining it in. But right now, inflation is the expansion of the money supply. Prices follow. So if you print more money, so if we start with $100 and something costs $1, if we have $1,000 now it might cost $10 because you've overinflated that by 10 times. So now the price has nothing to do but correct for inflation of what you've added to the money supply. That's what's happening right now. Inflation is the extraction. That's it. We're extracting the money supply. We're inflating the money supply. We're expanding the money supply. How about that? We're expanding. So we're contracting when it's not so bad. So you're ballooning right now. That's it. You're expanding the money supply. You don't want to expand. So that's it. So the goods have no choice but to follow. That's all that's happening. Just like when the US dollar goes up, it's overinflating the dollar, which means gold and silver typically will go down. But now it's got nowhere to hide right now, DXY. And gold and silver might have a correction left. And now we're going to get into our next part, the gold-silver ratio, and then that. So the gold-silver ratio is speaking of a possible move, but now it's starting to show we're still top heavy. Looks like a dragonfly in the daily, which means we're probably still got a move to go. And if we hold this layer and this turns out to be a reversal, you could see the gold-silver ratio making a nice little run up here, probably around 92. You could come back up to the top area up here, but do we really think we're coming back up there? It's possible. So that's just the gold-silver ratio, and you get that based on the relation to the gold price and silver price. So gold's at 19.25, up about 0.75%, nothing special. But this is what we're looking at. We talked yesterday, for anybody who's paying attention. Wow, Bill, thank you so much for the $8.88 donation. I completely missed that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. JW, good afternoon. I'll get to the rest when somebody else comments so I can see it. I've decided not to turn my phone on anymore because I would rather just focus. So the descending triangle, I guess you could say we're in downtrending resistance, downtrending support. Jose, welcome in. Watch, recycle, repeat. Paul, thank you so much for the $5 donation. And yes, I will continue to keep that hard work up. That is what I do. It's the only way we can stay on the same page. So basically, you got two choices here with gold. Are we going to fall down? The technical target on a breakdown is 1800 on a true breakdown. Now I can clone this just in case we do break up, and that would be doing our due diligence here, because after all, we're not making a prediction, we're letting the charts predict for us. So let's just say we broke out right here. XRP Rippers, thank you so much for re-upping for 16 months in Tom's Army. Wow, I love you too, my friend. That is incredible. 16 months, can you believe that? What an awesome audience. So, I mean, you're looking at a breakup somewhere around 2029 if you were to break out. So we've got a lot of things. I'm going to take this 1987 off. I'm going to take the mid-tier off. J. Lou, good afternoon. Garden to Hen House. Very nice. I got to get to a couple more because I seen another donation as well. So once I see another comment, I'll get to that. Thank you all so much for the support on this midday market report. I didn't know how many people we'd have in here. 69. Wow. XRP Rippers, thank you for the $10 donation as well. Mark Caston, good afternoon. Paul, welcome in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. That makes me happy because this is my real passion as well. These markets. This is where I changed my life, was through the commodities and precious metal markets. And then the stock market obviously helped, but now crypto just revolutionized it. But crypto and the commodity or precious metals go hand in hand. So this is our moves on gold. Now, if the US dollar continues to move up, we would end up having gold end up breaking down. So we have to pay attention. If the US dollar goes up to 109, there is a chance if we get rejected right around here again at 1942 area, 1950 actually to be more appropriate. If we get a rejection there, we'll probably just continue in here. And as long as we don't break down out of here, the lowest level is down around 1866. And if we don't break up, our top end potential is around 1950. And then we just consolidate, which there's nothing wrong with that. Consolidation to the apex gets you to around, let's do this appropriately, somewhere around this. Ooh, that's right around my birthday. We'll call it for what it is. Ironically, the apex point is like right on my birthday. My birthday is December 17th. Wouldn't that be a good birthday present? And December 18th is when I broke my back in a car accident in 2006. Yeah. So interesting where this lines up. So this could be the make it or break it, as we say. So we could either break out or break down. So we're looking into mid-December. Here's what it looks like. Oh, awesome, Jorge. I love that you love the market report. This is a true passion of mine. And I was trying to figure out how to cover all this stuff, and I finally figured it out. I just have to work a little bit harder. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to evolve. And I'm just going to do one extra live a day. And that's just how it's got to be Monday through Friday. Now, during the weekends, as you know, no midday market report. And this was actually in the right spot before. 1792. There's no midday market report on the weekends because there's no midday market to report on. And I have my first football game I coach on Sunday, so that should be interesting. Mr. Anderson, welcome in. Hey, my friend, thanks for the hard work. You're welcome. Rolling, welcome in. Zoo, good afternoon as well. You made your way in here. These charts are becoming my passion too. And listen, a lot of people think you have to do, so basically they say you have to do hard work. It's not hard work that makes this go round. You have to start with consistency. Consistently, if you do something consistently, it breeds the passion, which breeds the energy. And when you have the passion, you want to keep coming back day after day after day. That's what I do. I have consistency. And by being consistent, I can't miss a day, because then I'm out of the loop, you're out of the loop. And it's just like working out. I like to work out. I like to fast. It's the consistency that brings the actual intensity. When you have the consistency, you pine for it. And then when you start to understand or you start to see results, you really do. It starts to change your emotional perspective. Like, look at me now. I don't know if anybody can tell the last 2 weeks. My muscle was starting to deteriorate. I was starting to be less emotional, or a lot more emotional, because I was 2 months. I got injured. I'm still recovering. This is only on because I worked out, and it just, after you work out, it helps make things stay in place and whatnot. So now for the last 2 weeks I've gotten back. I can see the definition starting again. in my shoulders and my arms and my neck. I can see my turkey neck starting to trim down again because I've done 10 days of cardio. I've been walking 1.6 miles to and from the gym on top of it. So, you know, it's just the only thing that I kept doing was I kept fasting during the time. So it's been like 6 months. So now seeing the results starting to work, seeing the results of the audience showing up during this midday report. Yesterday we had about 50 people. The word gets out, today we have 74. And mind you, we're not even looking at XRP and we have 74 people. We're going through. Now the whole point of talking about consistency breeding response, that's the truth. Consistency breeds the response. A lot of people think you have to respond and you have to actually put the effort in. The effort doesn't mean anything, or the response doesn't matter if you don't have consistency. So what if one day a week you put in all the work? That doesn't do anything. You might as well just sit at home. No, not that. But one day is not going to get it done, and then it might take you 2 weeks to do it again. Yes, intermittent fasting. I don't eat 8 hours a day, or I only eat 8 hours a day. I don't eat 16 hours a day. So right now I'm at 16 hours and 8 minutes. I can't eat between 9 p.m. and 1 p.m. So I don't eat after 9 at night, unless like today I'll start at 1:30. Maybe I'll eat until 9:30 because of this live. But I only have an 8-hour window to eat every day, and then I won't eat for 16 hours. So basically, my goal is to eat between 1 and 9. And if I go later, that's fine. The longer I can fast, the better. And then I usually just don't eat after 9 anyhow. So, but that's what I'm doing. It helps with cellular repair is the main thing. But your body needs 14 hours a day, roughly, to process all of the food you've eaten. Between 12 and 14 hours. So by fasting 16 hours a day, they call it intermittent fasting. By doing that 16 hours a day, you allow your body to break down all the foods that you've eaten from the day before or during the last period. I only eat one meal. I snack and then eat one meal. Lost a lot, but yeah, you can't maintain if you're only doing keto. And that's just being, I don't believe in any diets. Let me just be honest. I used to be 265 pounds, so if you want to know the evidence of how I speak, I was 265 pounds in high school until I broke my back, and then I made a change. I was about 225 when I broke my back. But now I'm about, I don't even know, I don't weigh myself anymore, but probably 180. I used to be like a size 42, 44 pant size, probably 44. Now, literally 34 is the biggest that I can buy and try to, and they are big. But I don't think I can fit into 32s, but 30, you know, that's, I've lost a big part of myself. You know, and like, but what I've learned over the last 25 years, I would rather be big when I was younger. Honest to God, if I had to do it all over again, make me large when I was in high school so I could understand the errors of my way, because I didn't have a high metabolism. And now, because of what I know, I've been in shape my whole life relative to the next person. And that's why, you know, you have to stay consistent. That's the point. We have to stay consistent. Consistency breeds a response, and the response changes your emotional outlook, but it also breeds energy. When you enjoy what you do every single, this isn't a job for me. I don't look at this as a job. And yes, YouTube is a little bit like a job because I like to do, yeah, and it's been like, I don't know, since I started it when I was probably 23 when I finally got the hang of the real weight loss. By 25, I was where I wanted to be, and now I'm 40, and it's never come back. I went up and down, but only because I was out of the gym through injuries. And I've learned, you know, 2 weeks before Halloween last year, you can look at how I looked last year and when I started in 2021 to now, and that was getting closer to 200 pounds. That's the difference. When I'm closer to 200, you can see it in my face, and then it starts to, but anyhow, the point of this whole thing is it's dedication. You need consistency. That helps you with your dedication. Consistency and dedication is 1 and 1. If you're dedicated, you're going to put in the consistent work. I'm very dedicated. I'm a very good self-starter. Nothing anybody says to me really matters. Yes, my emotional response can be different, but that's only when I'm not in my zen. And as you can see, I'm in my zen. So that's how we can do this. So anyhow, if anything, I'm trying to breed positivity in this community. It works. I lost almost 100 pounds 3 years ago, and now I stick with. Very nice. See, and there's a lot of good things happening, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of good things. And like this, that's a straightener for after the workout. Remember, I couldn't put my hand straight before? Everything's fine now. I can bend. I can actually touch my palm now with my hand, but I do this because I've been injured before, so I know the proper ways to keep your ligaments and everything sitting where you want them. Like at night, because I had the severity of the injury, I got to wear it for 12 hours whenever I sleep. But you get your flexibility without having the dropping of your finger too, and that's what you're maintaining. So with gold, this is what we're looking at. This is the formation. We know the breakout, breakdown targets, breakdown 1792 roughly, unless we go to the apex. But anywhere in the middle we're talking. We have to have it. We have to have it in par with where we have the breakout possible temp upcoming, because we can see what's happening. So just pay attention to that with gold. And because we're on gold, B2 gold, I put out a buy alert for everybody at $2.92. Not because we don't think it's going down further, which I think it is. I think that was a good spot to start buying, and you buy it every 20% down from $2.92. I put $2,000 on it at $2.92. I was very transparent. Very transparent. And I'm going to put more on it as it goes down, to where if I have the proper amount of anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000 here on B2 gold, and that's not a joke, pays a 5.4% dividend right now. Its PE's right around 6. And they've expanded. Their gold ratio was down a little bit, but they've expanded on their holdings of silver, and they've actually, with their new mines, they've run into a surplus of silver, which to me is why I'm targeting them more than any other gold mining stock right now, because silver, I think, is going to have an exponential breakout. Now, there's no guarantee that we don't break up here, but remember the decision to buy right here. I think that was $3.12, but we decided $2.92 because we wanted to be on the bottom side and see what happened. So let me delete this so I don't confuse everybody. Let me go into my eraser so it's a little bit easier. We had an active discussion here during these lives, and we came up with the number 292, and I told everybody I was going to buy. If I'm not anything, I am a man of my word. So, you know, I don't like to leave anybody hanging, so where's it at? And I have a big plan with B2 Gold. Big, massive plan. So today it's up 2.88%. Let me just make sure it was $2.92, because I don't want to BS. Total gain 7.7%. It's worth $2,261. So I invested $2,100. So it's up 7.7%. What was my buy-in though? Okay, I didn't buy it at $2.92. I bought it at $2.99. So $2.99 I bought in 702 shares. See, that's why I like to look. $2.99. So I buy it on Cash App. All my stuff I buy on Cash App if I can, because I like to send stuff back and forth on Cash App, and they're FDIC backed. So you can basically use it like a bank account, $250,000 back. And because they deal with commodities and stuff like that, and also crypto you can buy on there as well, they're held to a different standard, and they have to have a lot of different looks in the books. So it's just it's a new revolutionary way I do things. Yep, one meal a day is the way to go. And then you snack if you want to do it. You snack. You snack. I'm telling you, we were meant to snack and not eat 3 meals. Although I am starving right now because I haven't eaten in over 16 hours. But now, Cash App is the easiest thing I can tell you. But this looks like it's starting to break out here a little bit. Especially because it went up with the dollar. So what was the lowest we could have bought this? I think it went, see, I never got $2.92. I had to make a decision. That's what it was. I wanted $2.92, but I made a decision at $2.99 and said I'm taking it. Because I remember we were on air and I said, what's the difference between 7 cents a share? I can just buy it 20% cheaper. Am I really going to be that? And I remember I said, am I really going to be this pessimistic over that 7 cents? And I said, I am not. So that's an excellent buy though at $2.99. And then I can buy it 20% cheaper if it comes down. So that's one that I would have my eyes on. And the only reason I'm focusing on that and not Fortuna Silver Mines, as I said, I put the money in. I was going to put it in Fortuna. I ended up selling out what I did in the beginning and putting it all towards B2 Gold because they don't pay a dividend with Fortuna. And yes, it shouldn't be your overriding factor, but to me, there's a lot more legitimacy to a company, and I not that Fortuna Silver Mines isn't. But if I'm going to have a volatile swing up and down, I would rather have that 5.3% on my $2,000 right now, or 22 something that it's at right now. And then when it goes up or down, I can continue adding it every 20%. My goal, every 20%, I want to add at least probably $1,000 every 20%. And if I only make it to 5,000, so be it. And if you want to know more information about B2 Gold, I buy it on Cash App. If you're in a different country, it's on the stock exchange. So it's on the exchange, New York Stock Exchange. So any major place, you can even find it on Robinhood. If I'm being truthful, you can find it anywhere. It's one of the bigger, undervalued in my opinion, probably in my opinion, the most undervalued gold mining stock. And some would say, some would disagree with that, but that's my own perspective. So just real quick, because I want to give you all the information. How many ended up staying? 60. That's impressive. So the stats on B2 Gold, just so you know, because you have to have the information. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to buy this without the information. So right now, their market cap is $4.17 billion. Their revenue over the last 12 months is $1.93 billion. Revenue growth, 8.1%. 12-month profit, $750 million. Net profit, 12 months. So they pulled in $300 million in profit. So now, and that's annually, their dividend is 5.19%. Their PE ratio is a little overinflated now. They're 13.87, which is why I think we're going to have a little pull down here. Price sales ratio, 2.16. Operating margin, 34.37%. And the dividend's down to 5.19% today because of the little move up. But as we get closer to 290 and 275, that PE ratio is going to be right where I want it. They always say under 26 is good, but I like to keep it under 9 if I'm buying. So right now, again, I think it's a little over elevated in the market because of what's going on, but we'll see. And then we've got, and this, we're almost done with the midday market report. We're 31 minutes in. This is taking much too long, but we've had a lot to talk about. Fortuna Silver Mines is one, if you're interested in silver, you can look at, but again, it doesn't pay a dividend, but I'll keep it up there and you can watch it and see if you like it. But that's the one most closely linked to, that's supposed to say 230, but whatever. We can't see it because I have terrible handwriting. But it's supposed to be on the bottom of the downtrending support. But I would just prefer B2 Gold. If you were going to invest in something you don't know apples to oranges, you invest with the one with the dividend. Now XRP, as it's taken us over 30 minutes to get here, I want to cover the news of the day with XRP with BlackRock as well. Right now, as we know, 51 cents. 51 cents is that overriding area where we were talking about yesterday. That's a resistance spot on the breakdown. So just pay attention to that. That is the breakdown resistance. So we did have a chance to come up a little higher, but as of right now, we got rejected first level. But that doesn't mean we're not going to finish this out, because we are back within this broken formation. And this is where it was trying to show possibly a fake out bull flag here. So now that we're in here, we have to finish out to the apex if we're going to continue doing it. And that could bring you to the end of October. Not saying it's going to, because I think we could have a quick breakdown. But if we do play it truthfully now, you come up to about the 53.4 level. That's what we talked about yesterday. If we break down, first layer is the rising channel at 45 cents. And then we have the 2020 uptrend at 38 cents. Now, oh, one more thing. We have to look at Bitcoin. We can't just skip through Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we're still working on this move. We basically come into here. But we basically finished off this move. I don't have the exponential moving averages on right now because they're not important. But that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. Are we going to come up any higher? I think we could retest 27,700. It's just, do we break down first? Now we're having more of a bearish candle here in the daily. So we'll see. We weren't able to break the swing high. So we got 6 hours and 38 minutes to try to put in more of a bullish narrative here and break that swing high. But we won't know until the end of the day. And we'll talk about that more in tonight's live at 7:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you to the 67 who are still tuning in. Thank you to anybody who sent a donation, anybody who re-upped in Tom's Army, or if you're considering joining Tom's Army, this is the last little thing I'm going to say. Video description below and or pinned comments, which it's not pinned right now, but it will be. So video description below, you can find ways to send a donation. Even if you don't want to do it on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat if you would like, or you can join Tom's Army. if you're looking to trade XRP especially, or your favorite crypto, there's two different ways that I'll advise you. If you're looking to futures trade, I love MEXC, but I also like FEMX. MEXC just has no spot fees as of right now, but no new users in the USA. But if you have the ability and you're already signed up, I highly encourage MEXC. But if you don't and you're in the USA, FEMX. And I'm going to share with you guys, it's in the video description below for FEMX, but they have a competition going on right now. And literally, this is it. I want to share it though, because why wouldn't you try to take advantage of this? And it's not, this isn't like, oh my God, it's a competition that, let's just put it this way. This is one of those that if you're on FEMX, and so I'll share you the link to sign up, and I want to read this to everybody too while we're doing this, and I'll put it in the Telegram so that I can show everybody. But real quick, if you're thinking about joining FEMX, if you're in the USA, the only reason, and I'm not affiliated with these, so you have to do your due diligence. You have to sign up and do your thing. So FEMX right now is doing the 1,000 Bitcoin. You get 2 votes to predict the price on Bitcoin for October 31st. That's all you have to do. And the official post was here. I seen it on FEMX. So it says the FEMX 1,000 Bitcoin challenge is now live. All PSP holders get 2 votes to predict the Bitcoin price fact. So you have to hold PSP, it looks like. But that's just the FEMX token. But you get 2 votes for October 31st and an opportunity to win up to 1,000 Bitcoin. It says, yes, you heard right. That's 1,000 Bitcoin. And then that's their challenge. You just have to guess. You get 2 if you hold FEMX. It's a FEMX Soul Pass holder. But you'll know if you go on the site. So that's what they're offering for holders. So pay attention to that. And then if you want to sign up, it's in the video description below to use FEMX. And then MEXC, there's also a link. Only telling you because you might as well know what's going on right now. So now going to BlackRock. And I appreciate everybody for hitting the like button. I see we're down to 58 people now. Fantastic. So BlackRock, rumored to shift crypto focus from Bitcoin to XRP. Some people just don't want to hear it all. That's okay. In the ever-evolving cryptocurrency landscape, rumored suggest that BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with over $9 trillion in assets under management. Appreciate that, Crypto Solo Scrooge. Yes, XRP is my main squeeze as well. Rocking with the, or rocket. The financial giant, so maybe reassessing its digital asset strategy. The financial giant is speculated to be considering a shift in focus from Bitcoin, the leading digital currency, to XRP, a digital asset primarily known for its payment protocol. Several factors are believed to be driving the speculated shift, including the changing regulatory environment surrounding cryptocurrencies, advancements in technology, and a possible intention to diversify their digital asset portfolio. While these rumors remain unconfirmed, they could carry substantial implications for the broader digital asset landscape if proven accurate. XRP has been steadily gaining traction in financial circles due to its potential applications in various financial services, particularly in cross-border transactions. A pivot by BlackRock towards XRP could not only increase the digital assets market value, but could also significantly enhance its credibility within the financial services sector. That's a $9 trillion cap they would bring with them. You're talking about $9 trillion that they would bring with them as the world's largest asset. I mean, if you want to talk about adoption, this could speak to the fact that we're adopting faster, and what I keep sharing is more relevant, not just the charts, but also all of the adoption I've been sharing over the past months. That doesn't get as many views, but it's so important, so I don't really care who views it. I'm going to keep sharing it. XRP has been steadily gaining traction, yada, 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 in financial circles due to its potential applications in various financial services, particularly in cross-border transactions. And I acknowledge, and I admit more than anybody, I get used a lot in here. I understand. Not everybody who's here now, but a lot of people like to use the content, which is fine because that's why it's here, so that they can swing trade or trade daily. That's not my intention, though. I do show the daily movements, but that's not just so you can swing trade. That's so you can build a common bond. You know, the truth is 98% of the people never pay it forward, but 2% make it worthwhile, if you understand. A pivot by BlackRock toward XRP not only increases the digital asset the asset's market value, but also significantly enhance its credibility within the financial services. This possible shift in BlackRock's investment strategy could also reflect a broader market trend as the cryptocurrency landscape matures, both retail and institutional assets. This development potentially opens up opportunities for alternatives to Bitcoin, which, despite being a pioneer in the crypto world, has grappled with challenges related to scalability and environmental concerns. So everybody, I'll ask you again, what do we make of this? What do we make of the news right now with BlackRock? Is this a rumor? Is there something deeper to this, and is there more legs? I will relax with everybody. If you want to relax with some cannabis with me, it's up to you. You let me know. Or I will just go do it separately. But I want to know what everybody thinks about this. I totally agree. We all need to make an educated and informed decision, so we need to know the news and charts alike. And yes, I like making Tom laugh. Yes, I know you do. I appreciate you. XRP is the one over Bitcoin. It is. And think about it. Why would they switch? Do you know there was a substantial movement, substantial transaction with Bitcoin, and it cost something like $57,000 to move, a substantial amount of money. Do you know to move that same amount of money with XRP, it would have cost them, what, less than a penny? So, I mean, you want to talk about an over, and it took 10 minutes, by the way, for the funds to clear. So you had to pay a $57,000 transaction fee, as they call it, a gas fee, a tax, a gas tax, a crypto tax, on top of a tax, on top of a tax, on top of a tax. So why would you pay that extraordinary gas fee? Even us, me and you, think about it. There's us amongst us watching right now that still uses Bitcoin, maybe not in this audience, but the general populace that uses Bitcoin or Ethereum or all these other schlub tokens that cost you dollars, that take time. And then the bigger the purchase, the bigger the money you send, the more it costs. I didn't want to say until somebody said it, but yes, it's 500,000. I was going with the small number because I didn't want somebody to say I was lying. So you are in fact correct. It is over $500,000 on that transaction fee. That was just the transaction fee on the purchase. See what I did there? I gave you 10% truth. But yeah, it was 500 and something, like 547,000 to be exact, somewhere in there. It was a very big purchase, a very big transfer of money. But if they would have just did the same thing, and it took 10 minutes, if they would have just did the same thing on the XRP using the ledger, it would have cost them pennies. Literally pennies. One XRP maybe for a service cost, so it would have cost them 50 something cents. Holy, maybe a few more. Maybe with the amount of money they're using, maybe $1 or $2, but 500,000 to send the money to somebody from point. I mean, come on now. That doesn't seem right. I mean, but now why would BlackRock switch with their $9 trillion in assets from using Bitcoin to XRP? I mean, it's so simple. Why would you use Bitcoin when you have to pay that big fee when it's basically free to use XRP and it takes a second? I don't know if anybody's transferred their stuff from an exchange to a wallet, not exchange to exchange, because that always takes more time because of the exchanges. But it sends your money, send your XRP one time from your exchange to a wallet. Literally, from the time you hit send to the time it arrives in the wallet, it's there. Zoom Wallet is a great place to start. So, but yeah, you know what? I'm all talked out. I'll be honest with everybody. I'm talked out. I want to save some of my voice for tonight. I will see everybody tonight at 7:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pay attention to the news and the charts alike. Remember, you're the positivity, not negativity. We're not negative here. We're not the victim here. We play the winner. We believe we are the light in a world surrounded by darkness. And what does that mean? The light extinguishes darkness. The positivity gets rid of the negativity. Right? You need the light to see the dark. You need the dark to know the light. You need the light to know the dark. Same thing, you need positivity to know negativity, and you need negativity to know positivity. It's our choice each and every day to choose which way we go. I've chose positivity. I've chose a more stern action so that I can keep this community in line. But I'm also a very jokative person, and we have a lot of fun in here. But I do maintain control And for about a year and a half, it cost me about half my audience. But I have the right group of people in here now. We've got the right mindset. We believe in giving thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ as well. And our spiritual side is on display. But that comes with keeping your emotions in check as well. Fitness, your health, your mind. So mind, body, and soul is all in one. I appreciate each and every one of you who took the time and the fact we have 71 people here at the conclusion.